I'm sure you've been listening to music and heard a cool bass line and thought to yourself, how does he get that sound? There are a lot of variables that make up a particular sound, such as the amp used or other pedals and equipment, but a good portion of the sound comes from simply the instrument and the way it's played. Today I'm going to demonstrate the surprisingly wide array of sounds that you can get out just using a P-bass. Many consider the P-bass to be a one-trick pony, but as you're about to hear, that's simply not true. However, here is the first trick. This is just going to be fingerstyle directly over the pickups here. I'm leaving my amp totally flat. I'm not even going to touch it during this demo at all. Anyway, this is the P-bass's signature sound. The easiest way to alter your sound right off is adjusting your attack. In layman's terms, that's how hard or soft you hit the strings with your plucking hand. For example, if you dig in and play a little bit more aggressively, you're going to get a great sound for rock. And if you back it off a little bit, you'll get a nice smooth tone that's great for anything else. You can also shift where you play along the strings. For example, if you play closer to the neck here, you'll get a fat, tubby sound. Or if you play closer to the bridge, you'll get a really tight, distinct sound that's great for playing lots of notes. While we're down here at the bridge, let's talk about a technique called palm muting. You see this a lot in guitar, not so much in bass, but it is a valid and very useful technique. To do this, you're going to just use the fleshy part of your palm here and put it right over where the strings touch the saddles. And you'll kind of have to experiment back and forth to kind of get the right sound. But then I like to reach over here with my thumb, and as you can hear, you get a really dark tone out of that. You can also do some cool fingerstyle stuff here too. The place where I get the most out of this technique is when I roll this tone knob all the way back. And then you get this kind of upright bass sound, which is great for walking bass lines. Has a nice little short thump to it, just like an upright bass. With the tone knob still rolled off, we can revisit some of the techniques I talked about earlier. For example, plucking near the bridge still gives you quite a lot of definition, but it adds a little bit more beef to it. The idea here is to just experiment. Maybe the thing that your song needs is just a twirl of a knob or putting your hand in a different spot. Moving away from fingerstyle, let's talk about playing with a pick. This is how you get the Blink 182 or the Rise Against bass sound. Now to play with a pick the right way, you're going to put the pick on the side of your finger here with the tip of the pick sticking out past your fingernail, and then your thumb will come down on top of it to hold it. And I like to be pretty close to the tip, and this way you're less prone to dropping it. From here you'll find that all the same rules that we've talked about hand positions and attack still apply. Playing directly over the pickup is mostly where you'll be. But playing near the neck will give you a fatter sound. Near the bridge will give you a tighter sound. Don't be afraid to experiment with the tone control while using a pick. There are a lot of really unexplored tones here. Lastly, worth mentioning is slapping. I don't personally do a lot of it because I feel like it's kind of showy, but it definitely has its place. The basic idea with this technique is that you're hitting the string with the side of your thumb, and in that same motion you're releasing and grabbing the string with your pointer finger. And then it sounds like this. The takeaway from this video is to experiment, and most of all, do not be afraid of the tone knob on these basses. The darker sounds that you can get out of rolling that off can have a real cool impact on your tone. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I'm going to be doing this same thing with my jazz bass, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions on anything I've talked about today, leave me a comment, and I will see you there.